Dear friends, we are going to do a project on Google SketchUp. Google SketchUp is a 3D modeling software. It is also used in various fields like architecture, engineering, animation, filmmaking, etc. Here we are going to use this software for representing urban scale mapping in a presentable way. So what is mapping? Mapping is basically a graphical representation of data collected from site. The difficulty level of this course is intermediate, and you should have following skill sets for doing this project. The skills are categorized into two categories. First is software skills and second is human skills. So you should have a basic knowledge of software skills like Google SketchUp, Google SketchUp extensions, knowledge of AutoCAD drafting, Microsoft PowerPoint, and you should have basic knowledge of following human skills like knowledge of mapping, site delineation, which means the well-defined site area, site documentation, which means information of site according to the needs of clients. What will you learn from this course? So you will be learning elevating large-scale level urban fabric. You will be learning use of make faces extension for large-scale urban fabric, mapping transferred on Google SketchUp. So you will be drawings on AutoCAD and then getting it transferred to Google SketchUp to make it more presentable. Basic presentation of Microsoft PowerPoint to give you statistical information. So, are there any requirements or prerequisites for this course? Yes, there will be a knowledge, the beginner level knowledge of Google SketchUp. There will be a beginner level knowledge of AutoCAD and Microsoft PowerPoint. The target audience will be participants who will be working in architectural or urban development fields, those interested in urban development related activities, and students related to this field. So by the end of this course, you will be having following skill sets. First is presentable mapping skills. Second is graphical presentation or representation of site, documentation using Google SketchUp, techniques to manage large scale area of the site, Google SketchUp and AutoCAD exploration. The case study will be an area slum, a land pocket of. So XYZ client had decided to initiate the project on slum redevelopment on a land pocket located in slum measuring around 22 acres of area. He had floated a competition in which there is a need to build the initial study on selected area for master planning. The client had following requirements: number of houses, number of floors, occupation study, use of houses like cottage industries, residential or commercial, basically what is going on in houses. So this case study will bring 3D graphical representation of site conditions in a presentable way. Following scenarios will be covered as a part of this case study. First is AutoCAD basic drafting to import data on Google SketchUp. Second is transfer all on-paper data or surveyed data on AutoCAD and Google SketchUp. Making components and representation of extruded view on Google SketchUp. So moving ahead with the AutoCAD drawing, you can see the survey data of the survey has done by a local NGO, and it has recorded each and every element of site. So you can see right from railway tracks to infrastructure or residential houses, each and every part is recorded. We are moving ahead with this area of 22 acres. The boundary had recorded according to the nuggets or according to the small parts of site. I'm going to extract this part. Select the part of rectangle and draw a command W, which is W block, right block. Give a path. Call it as survey plan. Extracted. Choose meters as your unit. Say OK. So you can see the extracted part which you need to take care of. The extracted survey plan has too much information and we need only few information according to the client need, such as number of houses, number of floors, occupational study, and use of houses. So I'm extracting accordingly. Here they have given huts. So these are the huts of purely residential area. These are the huts of, you can click on the polylines and you can see the layer of commercial huts, simple huts, and industrial huts. So this information is given by survey only. There is other information that we have to collect from site. So for 3D, I'm extracting and separating out the information that we need to have for Google SketchUp view. Lay off, lay ISO, and I have only residential houses with me. Lay on to have all the information on the screen. I'm putting this line in a different layer so I can have only huts and the boundary line with me. So I'll have a reference point to extract all the data on a same position. So I'm taking this road line . Select reverse to have only part you have to take. Make sure you are selecting each and every part that you require. Command CO, enter, extract your part. This is your action area. Delete each and every building that you doesn't require. Make your action area complete so you will be able to create faces on Google SketchUp. If you missed out any element, you can make command CO. You can select that element. You can make command CO, enter, select reference point. If you missed out any element from your plan, you can select that element. You say CO, enter. Type R. If you missed out any element, you can type CO, enter, put it out, select it again, M, enter. Make sure your object snap is on. You can do it directly from the plan. You don't need to CO, enter and put it out and then put it into your action area. You need to just select it, CO, enter. If you missed out any element, you can select that element, CO, enter, select your reference point. You can select this point. So select it from here. Select, put it on the same reference point, click it, enter it. You have your element on expected location. Keep your all lines into polyline to avoid mistakes in Google SketchUp. If you have any loop or you have any break into lines, your Google SketchUp will not be able to make faces. All the lines which you don't require. Go into properties, make a new layer of boundaries. Boundary. Put all the boundaries of your action area into one layer of boundary. Yes. Boundary. Make sure it has same properties. You only need hut's information, so I'm removing all the information from this action area. Remove all the texts, remove all the hatches. While transferring the data, we should have only polylines. So I'm removing rest of the layers from the drawing. Lay off. Select it and again make it a block. So I am giving a command of blue W, saying it as drawing for SketchUp. So all the extra information is removed from the layers. Also remove the data which is not required, like here for example it is temple, so we are not taking it, just remove it. Make it white. Separate out each of the layer. For example, hut layer. Again lay ISO for commercial huts. Again lay ISO for industrial huts. Put the rectangle on each and every layer. So you will have a reference point. Say view, purge all the items. Save it. And you are ready for transferring it on the Google SketchUp. Before moving for SketchUp, you need to check whether the drawing is on the same plane. For that, you need to select the entire drawing, enter, type PR, enter, go for polylines, elevation has to be 0, go for lines, the Z has to be 0, Z axis, then save the drawing. Ctrl S. I am going to use Google SketchUp 2020. Download it from sketchup.com. Template would be architectural meters. So this is the trial version of Google SketchUp. Import the file where it is located. So you can see the drawing is on the same plane. Otherwise you will have to see the elements are moving up and down. Explode it. Save the drawing. I'm saying it as urban scale mapping. Now how to use make faces. I'm going to 3D warehouse from Windows. Go to window. Go to extension warehouse. Type make faces. Click on this option. I'm using the trial version of this extension. If you want to have, if you have a lot of work on make Google SketchUp, you can actually purchase it. I am using right now is a trial version. So start free trial. Click yes. The extension has successfully installed. So select the entire drawing, extensions, make faces. So you can see the every face has created. Like you don't have to create individual faces. Make sure your every drawing is into polyline, otherwise these kind of errors can take place. So I'm starting with 3D modeling. So I have heights of each building. Some of them are true information, some of them are conjectured. So Control plus 3, again Control plus, Now I have given heights to every block. Moving to the next layer, follow the similar process for this block, for this layer. Similarly, my third layer is complete. So make sure each and every building is complete and to the height, to the given height. Now you have to make it into component. So I'm removing the base. And right click, make component, say it as layer 1, industrial huts. Similarly, second layer, it is partially into component layer, but not everything is into component. So I'm making it as make component layer 2, commercial huts. My third layer is purely huts. If you have done a mistake, you can say Ctrl Z, so everything will reverse. It's like undo. Ctrl Z, undo. Make it clean as much as possible. It will give you a good representable graphic. Layer 3, huts. Now I'm going to use a color scheme for the presentation. For that, I have downloaded this image from Google. I'm using this aqua color, purple color and orange color. So each layer will look different and it will be eye-catching too. To extract the right color, to extract the right shade of color, I am putting that image into Google SketchUp. Import. Select the image. Now I'm going to use this paint bucket. Go to paint bucket. In that, you should press colors. Draw a rectangle here. Give this color over here. Press the edit button and choose the color according to the color palette, so you can customize your shade if it's not available on the material option. It's a similar shade, so I'm freezing it here. I'm using this shade instead of this, so the brighter color or the darker color will look much better in the presentation. For purple, I'm going to use this shade. And for the third one, aqua color. Okay, so my 3 colors are fixed now. Now match properties and then give it to the layer. I'll give a gray color base to enhance these colors. So let's prepare the base. I'm utilizing the same map that we have extracted earlier from the survey map. So now checking for the missing elements, go to the map. Here I'm seeing the boundary of the site that I'm copying in my map. Take a reference point. For the presentation purpose, I am trimming this line. The more accurate your drafting is, the more output will be clear and easy to make. So clear out as much as possible, as I said earlier. For trimming hatch, you need to type TR enter, then select the line above which you want to trim, then enter again. You will get everything trimmed out of this line. So repeat this on every face of this rectangle. Then follow the same thing which we have done over here. Make sure you have only buildings, boundary, and certain elements like road, medians. So you will be able to see the urban elements in the mapping and the mapping which is required by client. Lay off to remove all the unnecessary elements. Hit the overkill command to remove overlaps of lines. Copy your boundary on the base map. Copy your boundary on the base map so you have your boundary intact of your action area. Copy the boundary of 22 acres of area on the base map with the reference point. Make the entire base map as white. Change the color of river or the water body so that element will get highlighted. Now your base map is ready. Control save. Import it into SketchUp. If you don't flatten, see the kind of results you will get. So you need to flatten first. So delete it. Select the entire drawing. Say PR, enter. Polyline. Elevation has to be 0. Line. Z-axis should be 0. Import it again. Now I am checking for the drawing is on the same plane. So select the drawing. Give a command PR, enter. Go to polylines. Elevation is 0. Line. Z-axis are 0. For hatches, elevation is 0. For circles, Z-axis is 0. So your drawing is ready to import. I am opening SketchUp 2020 again. If you missed out the path, you can see here your file is. File, import. Explode. Draw a rectangle. Draw a rectangle. You can use make faces here also. I am filling the parts which are not having faces. Now the base map is ready on Google SketchUp, but we need to give some plane to the base map. So I am taking a rectangle and giving it a base. So you have a white base, and then I'm highlighting the site with gray shade. Check all the points of your site properly and then mark it. Firstly, I am drawing the boundaries of site. So my plane is ready for site. I am giving it as a gray color. Little light gray color. And for the rest of the site, I am giving a rectangle which is of white color. I'm pulling this up to 0.1 meters. I'm pulling up my site up to 0.15 meters. And then giving a base of white color for the rest of the site. So I have my site which is raised and clear. So you can see clearly the gray color. Otherwise it would merge into this white color. So I had to raise it up. Make it as a component so it's easy to operate. Now I'm moving towards layers. Put every layer on a site. So now I'm putting the layers onto the site. So you need to take the lower side point as a reference. Once you did import this site on the Google SketchUp, you need to put up layers that you have made earlier on the site with a proper location reference point. So I made those layers earlier. I'm putting it on the base map. I'm taking this as a reference point as it is showing prominently. Make sure you are placing it on a correct location. So it is placed on a correct location. Always check it twice so you will avoid mistakes. The second layer. So here I am taking this as a reference point. Check it properly. The third layer. I am taking this as a reference point. Now giving a plane to the site. So you are going to highlight these layers. So you can see now the layers are highlighted because of the base. So I'm putting it as a gray color. And raising up slightly up to 0.15 meter. Now I'm giving a white base to the entire site. Don't you think this is highlighting? Now we will move towards extruded view. So how to make a extruded view? So you have ready your urban fabric right now. I am selecting this layer. I am moving it up. Make a copy of the layer. So select M and enter plus. And follow the blue line while raising up. Now set up the angle. Make sure your buildings are visible from the top. So select the angle accordingly. raise little up. I'm raising again little up. Now giving a shadow which is already on. Always select edge style. So I don't want profiles. So I am deselecting profiles. Also check for the face styles. So here we need shaded with textures because we have already given colors. You can also select these options from it. But according to our needs and our requirements, we need shaded with textures. So export to 2D. Select options. I need more larger view or a good configured view. So I'm not using the view size. I am increasing its size up to 8000. Since you have given the scale or given the proportion of it. Keep anti-alias on. Keep anti-alias on. Select transparent background. I am naming it as first rendered view. So it is a good quality image. It gives you crisp lines. It is ready to put on PowerPoint. We are moving towards the next layer. So go to the view, animation, add scene. So you will be having the same angle for the other views too. I am taking the next layer by choosing the reference point of this building. And I am hiding this layer. Hide. Go to the scene 1. Slightly take it down so this will not get hidden. Export 2D graphic. Second rendered view. Options 8000. The proportion, anti-alias, transparent background. OK. Export. So similarly, third layer. Similarly, it works for the third layer. So the PNG files for 3 layers is ready. So we can go towards PowerPoint presentation now. In the Microsoft PowerPoint, take a blank presentation. So here I am taking the size standard 4:3. Custom slide size. Then I'll go for A3. If you take accurate slide size, you will have a good hand-on print. So everything will be configured as per your slide size or the paper size. So it is always advisable to take a paper size which you are going to print. So I am removing everything and taking my 3 rendered views, directly dragging on Microsoft PowerPoint. So I'll have the same size of each view. So select all the images and set up a size for your view. Make it big as much as possible so it will look good. To adjust, type arrow buttons. Put some space for your title, your information, and then set up your view accordingly. Now, duplicate it 3 times. Send to back your first layer or delete your first layer. Send to back this layer. Then you'll have the another layer onto the top, and then you can delete the earlier layer. So for the third slide, select and send to back. Select, delete. Again select, send to back. Again select, send to back. Select, send to back. Select, delete. So you have 3 layers with you now. Since we have moved this image little up in the view, so I'm setting this image as per this view. So it feels like your base is the same, only the layers are changing. So save your PPT first, saying it as housing study. Saying it as housing study. Insert a title box. Here I'm putting the subtitle as residential huts. Now I came towards the CAD file where we have separated all the layers. I am selecting simple residential hut layer and then entering PR. So under PR command, we will get to know that there are 1698 polylines. So we have 1698 huts. So make sure your each and every house is a polyline. So you will have the number of objects or number of huts with you. You don't have to count each and every hut. You just have to press PR enter and you will get to know the numbers. So if I go individually, you will understand there are 4 polylines. That means there are 4 residential huts. And if you count everything, there are 1698 polylines or residential huts. So I'm putting the data as residential huts 1698. Now we will count the entire number. So you can see out of 2638, there are 1698 simple residential units. So total number of units are 2638. So now go towards chart, pie chart, from which I'm selecting this for the presentation purpose. I'm taking this chart style in which you have to put the numbers. So I'm saying units, first quarter residential units, number is 1698, and other units. So I'm putting a formula saying 2638, 2638 minus this cell of residential units, and I am deleting the remaining part. Saving it. From here I am changing the color. I am increasing the text size so it is visible to us. Crop this image, so picture format, crop, so you will not have any problem in moving this image anywhere. I am inserting a text box over here saying the number of units are 1698. and writing in the middle that total units are 2638. Now your statistical part is ready. I'm copying this chart in the other slides. So I'm counting now the other layer, which is of commercial huts. So select the layer, then press PR enter, then press PR enter. Select it carefully. You can see the polylines are not on a correct location, then you have to correct it. So only units are selected. Check twice, thrice if only the units are selected. Now enter PR. Polylines 887. Right click, edit data. 887 commercial units. As I said, crop the image so you can avoid Now the last one is industrial units. Polylines 50. So similarly, I have done occupational study for residential units because the other commercial and industrial units would be having their own business. So the residential units will have labor and privately owned business. So these kind of studies you can generate. If you have any other attributes or criterias for study, similarly you can color and you can actually separate out in the AutoCAD itself and put it on the Google SketchUp and build your study accordingly for your research. You can also put open spaces, roads. So these elements would be a value addition to your presentation, and it gives you a good impression towards your client or towards your professor. So friends, best of luck for your studies and best of luck for your respective projects. Have a good day.